This is the Songbird homemade cooking. So today I want to make some, I got a request to make some rice pudding. So everybody makes it a little bit different, but I guess the results are not exactly the same, but the flavor almost is. Consistency might be different, varying from different people depending on how they do it. So I'm going to use this pot because it's really huge and I don't want any of my grains to stick together. Some people prefer that it does, but I know it's supposed to stick a little bit, but I'm going to actually get rid of a little bit of the starch before I add my milk and everything else. So right now I have a whole bag of long grain rice and I'm going to let that cook in this very hot water that it's very hot. It's very important. Some people like it in cold water and salt. I like mine in very hot water. Get it started that way. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing for about I say about 7 minutes of boiling, because it will be boiling in about 2 seconds. Okay, maybe 3 minutes it'll be boiling. It'll be boiling. I'm going to let it boil for about 7 minutes. I'm going to time it. I'm going to come in here after about 10 minutes. I'm going to give it a little stir. I don't like to stir rice, but when I say stir, I mean stir it to death. I mean, like, stir it a couple of go-arounds just to get release a little more starch. Some people like all the starch in their rice pudding. I would just prefer a little bit of half, because then my mouth just doesn't agree with my tongue, I know it makes it creamy. Oh, I guess I was right at 3 or 4 seconds, not 3 minutes. But I was kind of exaggerating, but it's definitely starting to boil. Some people like it like that. I'm going to drain the rice and clean off most of the starch, because that's just the way I prefer it. It's still going to be creamy because the milk and the butter is going to make it creamy. The eggs is what's going to make it turn into pudding. Okay, so while this rice is boiling, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it boil for, like I said, about 10 minutes. It's a really big pot, so it's not going to scorch or anything. And when I come back in here, well, I was going to put a box of raisins in right now, just so the rice could kind of absorb the raisin flavor. But like I said, I really just want to get at least half of the starch out of the rice before I start adding ingredients, even though the starch is supposed to be one of the ingredients. Alright, but you can do it your way. 10 minutes. We'll be back.